Hey, so last week for Halloween I decided to go as the sweet and cute and adorable Vanellope Von Schweetz from the movie Wreck-It Ralph. So she comes from the fictional video game universe of Sugar Rush, which is an arcade racing game, and that game takes place in a sugar and candy filled world, so that is why she has licorice and candy stuck in her hair. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I did to make this cosplay complete, so let's get started. First thing I did was make the candy cane leggings, which kinda worked out, but not really-ish, I guess. I just dyed a pair of white leggings in some teal dye, and then I got some white and purple felt. And I cut some strips from the white felt. And the thing about felt is it doesn't stretch as much, so you might want to use a stretchy fabric like a t-shirt or something, but I guess this kind of worked out. Then you're going to take one of the strips and lay it down and see where you want it. Then cut the end at an angle and attach it using some fabric glue. You're going to want to go ahead and glue a little bit at a time. And make sure to rotate and flatten out the surface that you're working on. And once you have your first spiral done, it'll look something like this. And I know, it looks really plain, so I went ahead and added a second stripe between the first stripe. And your first finished leg should look something like this. I know, it looks delicious. I don't know if you want to eat fabric or not, but you know, candy canes. I love candy canes. Okay, moving on to the second leg. I went ahead and did the same thing, but I made the strips thicker. And then I cut thin strips from the purple felt, which I glued on top of the white felt. And these are the finished leggings. And the second thing is Vanellope's iconic mint green hoodie. So I found this one on eBay for about 20 bucks. I also got some hot pink shoelaces, and I used one of them to replace the boring old white drawstrings, and then I tied the ends at a double knot. And as for the second shoelace, I cut 4 pieces of about the same length. And then I used some fabric glue to glue the ends so they don't fray. And then I placed them on something to dry, and for some reason I used a tape dispenser because that was the closest thing I had. And once they're dry, I sewed them on with some pink thread. And the reason I sewed this on was because if I needed to take these stitchings off, I could. So I stitched the ends and folded them over to give them that nice clean finish. for the last 2 strips, make sure to cross them together. And this is the finished hoodie. The third thing you're going to need is the brown miniskirt that Vanellope wears, and for some reason I could not find a brown miniskirt like anywhere. Can we rant about this for a second? Okay, like anywhere, nowhere. Okay, end of rant. Anyway, since I'm not very good at explaining sewing things, I'm just going to show you what I ended up with. So this is the skirt, and I have a waistband at the top, a connecting piece that connects to the first layer of frill, another connecting piece, and then the last layer of frill. Since no outfit would be complete without shoes, Vanellope wears some black oversized boots, so I got these black shoes at a thrift store for about 99 cents. Now as for makeup, Vanellope doesn't have that much makeup on, so I'm going ahead and applying some foundation on that's slightly lighter than my actual skin tone. Then I put on some brown shimmery eyeshadow all over the lid. And then I got a shimmery champagne color and I put that in the inner corner of my eye. Now the one thing that Vanellope does have is eyeliner, so I'm using some black pencil eyeliner to line my eyes. And she does have a bit of a winged eyeliner, so I'm going ahead and doing that. And then I decided I wanted to make the wing a bit more dramatic, so I'm using some liquid eyeliner. Then I curled my eyelashes with an eyelash curler and put on some mascara. Then I filled in my brows, although my brows are already pretty full. And moving on to lips, Vanellope doesn't have very dramatic lips, so I put on some peachy corally lip butter. Can't forget about Vanellope's rosy red cheeks and nose, so I put on some red lipstick. So I just dotted it on my cheeks and some on my nose, and I blended it out to give it a nice soft finish. And I think that's pretty much it for makeup. I guess you could put on some fake eyelashes if you wanted to, but I decided to pass for this one. And the moment you've all been waiting for, the hair candy. So we're going to start off with making the hair licorice. So the material I decided to use is parachute rope, and I cut 9 pieces of 13-inch strips. I took one end of my stack and secured it with a rubber band. And then I started twisting it so it looked like a Twizzler. Then I shaped it into a little cancer ribbon type shape. And by the time I did all that, the ribbon frayed a lot, so I cut off all the excess parts that had frayed. And then taking some E6000 glue, I put it on each end so it wouldn't fray. And I forgot to film this also, but you also need to put it where the loop intersects so the thing doesn't fall apart. And you can take off your rubber bands and you'll be left with a little licorice loopy thingy. And now for the actual candy, I'm taking 2 paper stars that I made, and they look like this. And I'm also taking a bracelet that I got from Claire's, and it has little gummy bear charms on it, so I am detaching those charms so we can put them on bobby pins. If you look closely, Vanellope has rainbow-colored sprinkles in her hair, so I'm taking these brads and cutting off the bendy parts because we won't need those. Moving on to the peppermints, this is a thick white foam board, and I also have red foam board that has adhesive on the back, but you could also use something like this green piece of foam that is just a green piece of foam. And you're gonna need something circular, and I'm using just a bottle cap that'll indent the white, so I just follow the little circular guideline to cut a circle out of the white piece of foam. And I did that to 3 of those, and with your colored foam, I cut the same size circle and cut that into 12 equal pieces, so you should end up with little pizza slice looking things like this. And since this has this adhesive on the back, I'm taking it and putting 6 of them on one of them, so in the end you'll have a little peppermint shape. If the foam you have doesn't have adhesive on it, I am using some tacky glue to put it on, and this is just a cotton swab, so I'm putting some on the back and laying it down. To put your little goody goody gumdrops together, we have some bobby pins. Since the gummy bears already have eye pins at the top, I'm taking one end of the bobby pin and putting the bobby pin through the hole. For the rest of your candy, I am using, believe it or not, fabric glue to glue it onto the bobby pins. And the reason I used fabric glue is, I don't really know, but it worked pretty good, and hot glue didn't work as well, so I suggest you use fabric glue or something else. The cute little confections are complete, so now it is time to get your hair up into a ponytail. And this is my hair, and I put it up into a high ponytail with some strands to the side. So our licorice ribbon is going to go through the ponytail, and I pinned it down with some bobby pins. For the candy, you could just go crazy, but I would focus the candy onto the sides of your heads and the back of your head. And here's the completed hair. Yay, we are finally done, and I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Anyways, I wore this for Halloween, but I bet this would be a great hit at conventions like Comic-Con or wherever you're going to. But just remember not to glitch out too much.